In the heart of a bustling African village deep within the vast savannah, there lived a humble carpenter named Kofi. He was known by all for his skill with wood, but few knew of the secret power he possessed. The sun hung high in the sky, casting its golden rays across the thatched roofs of Dimama. The sound of hammers and saws echoed through the air as Kofi worked diligently in his small workshop. His hands moved with a grace that belied his strength, shaping wood into tools, furniture, and works of art. The villagers loved him for his kindness, though they did not understand the true extent of his abilities. Kofi had sworn never to use his powers unless it was absolutely necessary, for he knew the burden that came with them. As Kofi finished his work, a sudden commotion erupted in the market square. Villagers ran in panic, their faces etched with fear. From the distance, a cloud of dust approached, accompanied by the thunder of hooves. Bandits, led by the fearsome warlord Jabari, were descending upon the village. Jabari had terrorized the region for months, raiding villages and taking whatever he pleased. The villagers of Dimama knew they stood little chance against him and his men. Kofi stepped out of his workshop, his heart heavy with the knowledge of what was to come. The time had come to break his vow. The bandits rode into the village, their laughter cold and cruel. Jabari, a towering figure with a scar running down his cheek, dismounted from his horse and surveyed the scene. His lieutenant eyes fell on Kofi, who stood calmly in the center of the square, a simple wooden staff in hand. Jabari sneered, saying, "Who dares to stand against Jabari? You, Carpenter, step aside, and I may spare your life." But Kofi did not move. He could feel the power within him stirring, like the rumble of an approaching storm. The villagers watched in awe as he raised his staff, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. Kofi took a deep breath and spoke, his voice steady. "Leave this village in peace, Jabari, or face the consequences. Jabari, you dare threaten me, I'll cut you down where you stand." With a roar, Jabari lunged at Kofi, his sword raised high. But before he could strike, Kofi slammed his staff into the ground. A shockwave rippled through the earth, sending Jabari and his men flying backward. The ground beneath them cracked and split, forming a chasm that separated the bandits from the villagers. But Kofi was not done. As the bandits struggled to their feet, Kofi raised his staff once more. This time the wind obeyed his command, swirling around him like a cyclone. He directed the force toward Jabari and his men, who found themselves lifted off the ground and hurled far from the village, landing with a thud in the distant savannah. Breathing heavily, Kofi lowered his staff. The chasm sealed itself, and the winds died down. The village was safe. As the sun began to set, casting the village in a warm orange glow, the villagers gathered around Kofi, their faces a mixture of gratitude and awe. They praised him, calling him a hero. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.